Good morning. A nearby neighbour is having a rather large sandstone slab retaining wall constructed.
Okay.
On Wednesday morning, a low loader with 2 excavating machines on board arrived outside my house.
Okay.
Then after it arrived, I went outside to my footpath to photograph one of the trees that was in bloom on my property. The driver stuck his head out the truck window and demanded, "I hope you aren't taking a photo of my truck." Now, my curiosity aroused, I walked up to the cabin or towards the cabin and responded, "And if I were, it is illegal." Luckily, I wasn't photographing your truck, isn't it? That's what I said. He appeared to have an arrogant air about him, I suspect, to cause intimidation. So he alighted from the cabin and explained that he was there to construct a retaining wall and would be making a mess, but would clean the road at the end of each day.
Okay.
Apparently, some people are not happy when he turns up for a job.
Sure.
Now, two days later, another large truck and trailer arrived with sandstone slabs.
Uh-huh.
Now, a locked four-wheel drive has been parked in the street for some weeks. It happened to be in an inconvenient position for the operator. So he lifted the back of the vehicle with one of his machines and pushed it over the gutter onto my footpath. Now, I had to leave for a meeting, so decided not to approach the operator.
Yeah.
On my return that afternoon, I was confronted with a pile of sandstone blocks on my footpath, some of which were encroaching on a very narrow garden I had created along my fence line.
Wow.
Now,
a lot of issues in here. Charles, let me dive straight in and deal with a couple of those. Firstly, is it illegal to photograph this guy's truck? No. It just isn't. Secondly, can he manhandle that car onto a footpath out the front of your place? No. There are rights for the vehicle owner, but also you just can't place a car on a nature strip. It's still your land. The local authority has rights over that footpath section, but it's still your land. So you're entitled to demand it be removed to somewhere else.
Right.
Same thing with plonking building materials on your footpath. Just not on. And any damage needs to be made good. I think essentially with some of this heavy construction equipment, the rule of thumb has grown up. Well, it's all right, mate, so long as we make it good when it's finished. But that's really not what the law obliges these guys to do. It's difficult when you've got large vehicles in small streets with cars parked in them, but it just doesn't give you a license to do the sorts of things that are being done. So you're entitled to not have stuff plonked on your footpath. You're entitled to require it to be removed. You do actually have a right to pick it up and move it, so long as you don't create a breach of the peace or some other breach of the criminal code, and you can plonk it down on the owner's footpath. But I think maybe have a word with your neighbour, because the tradies are not going to respond in the way that you want them to. See if your neighbour, who's actually paying the tradies, to whom they'll listen, can do something about it.
Thanks, Guy. You answered all my questions.
Excellent.
Thank you.